Hello and welcome. You are listening to the Happya Life Podcast. I'm your host, Clare Deacon. After deciding survival wasn't enough, I set out on a path to live my best life. I wanted to thrive. Now I'm on a mission to support others. Think you're not good enough, confident enough, brave enough? I'm here to tell you you are, and you can achieve anything. This is your time, so let's do this. Welcome back to another episode of the Happya Life Podcast. I'm Clare Deacon, your host and guide on this journey to living a happier, more fulfilling life. Today, we're diving into a topic that's incredibly important: building resilience and finding strength in adversity. If you've ever faced continuous challenges and wondered how to develop a resilient mindset, this episode is for you. I'll be sharing personal stories, actionable tips, and a whole lot of encouragement to help you build resilience and thrive despite adversity. So let's get started. Let's begin the journey by understanding what resilience is. Resilience is your ability to bounce back from adversity and keep going despite the challenges. It's not about never facing difficulties, but how we respond to them. Resilient people can adapt to change, recover from setbacks, and keep moving forward. I want to be clear here, though, that it all takes time, and even the most resilient of individuals will need to take a pause, demonstrate self-compassion before the process of bouncing back can begin. Resilience manifests in various different ways: maintaining a positive outlook, finding meaning in difficult situations, and having the flexibility to adapt to new circumstances. After losing my husband unexpectedly, I had to find the strength to rebuild my life. It wasn't easy, but resilience helped me navigate this challenging period and find a new path forward. It took time, it took courage, it took support, and it took determination. Before I could even consider finding a path forward, I had to get myself to a position of stability that meant I could deal with the everyday before I could consider what tomorrow would bring. Ultimately, my resilience took over when I made that decision that survival wasn't going to be enough. That if I was taking on this challenge, I had to do everything in a way that meant that I was going to find my happier and I wasn't going to settle for anything less. And it was that determination and that focus that led me on a whole journey that meant I could achieve not only that bounce back, but growth from adversity. And that's something that really is important to acknowledge if you have faced a series of challenges, if you are experiencing and in the midst of adversity, that it's not just given that you will end up in a place of survival, that that's the best you can hope for, that there is scientific evidence. There are people who go on to achieve so much more and live a happier life because of the growth that they have been able to achieve by building resilience, by making that decision that survival really isn't enough. So, looking at the impact adversity can have on your life, because it can have significant long-term effects on your health and well-being. Mentally, it can lead to chronic stress, anxiety, and even depression. Physically, it can take a toll on our bodies, leading to issues like high blood pressure, digestive problems, and weaken immune function. Adversity can also strain our relationships, making it difficult to connect with others and enjoy really meaningful interactions. Research has shown that prolonged stress can alter brain function, affecting our memory and decision making abilities. Understanding these impacts can be the first steps to building resilience. When we acknowledge and we recognize how adversity affects us, we can take proactive steps to mitigate its effects and develop a more resilient mindset. It means that we're able to support ourselves and give ourselves what we need, finding that self compassion. So, how do we develop a really resilient mindset? Well, it starts with a shifting in our perspective. So, I'd like you to consider, and some of you may have come across this before, there are two main types of mindset. The first is a fixed mindset, and the second is resilient mindset. So, fixed mindset believes that abilities and situations are static and unchangeable. We don't have an influence over outcomes. On the other hand, a resilient mindset embraces change and sees challenges as opportunities for growth. The people who have this resilient mindset have the belief that they have an influence and an ability to make changes in their life and how they are living. And as part of my master's, I did some in-depth research looking at the difference between individuals who experience post-traumatic growth as opposed to those that in response to trauma and adversity, find themselves in positions of learned helplessness, that state of continual survival, which really causes significant struggles to an individual's well-being. So, how do we cultivate that resilient mindset? Well, a good starting point is by practicing self reflection. It's about asking yourself what you can learn from this situation and what you need in order to help yourself with getting through today until you've achieved that stability to look at what tomorrow brings. So instead of seeing obstacles as insurmountable barriers, starting to view them as chances to learn and grow. What can you take forward? What opportunity does it allow you to take forward? Positive affirmations can also help in reframing your thinking. Statements like, I am capable of overachieving this, or I'm growing stronger every day, can actually make a significant difference, more than perhaps you may believe is possible when you are in that depth of facing adversity. Building resilience involves developing a support system. It's about setting realistic goals for yourself and practicing self care. It's important to surround yourself with people who uplift and support you, whether they're friends, family, or even perhaps a support group that can help you. Setting realistic goals helps you break down larger challenges into more manageable steps, making it easier to take take those steps and to celebrate small victories along the way so that you can see change and progress is possible. In terms of your self-care, this is something I advocate for continuously because it is crucial, and it's not just in times of adversity. In times of adversity, you need to step it up and do that much more. But we should be continually looking after ourselves and prioritizing our well-being so that we're there ready and able to support others, because that's often the reason that we avoid looking after ourselves, because we prioritize others. But we're no good to anybody if we're not fit and well in ourselves. So prioritize activities that nourish your body and your mind, such as exercise and meditation or hobbies that you enjoy. Whatever it is, that the phrase I use is that fills your cup, that makes you happy, that makes you feel good and ready to take on life. Embracing flexibility is another key component. Being open to change and adaptable to new circumstances can help you navigate unexpected challenges more effectively. I've seen many individuals transform their lives by building resilience. One client in particular overcame significant personal and professional challenges by focus on small incremental changes. Over time, those changes led to a remarkable transformation in their outlook and in their well-being that enabled them to take on challenges that seemed overwhelming in the first instance. Okay. So let's talk about some specific strategies you can use to develop and strengthen resilience. So first of all, maintain a positive outlook. Focus on the positives and what you can control rather than dwelling on those negatives and uncertainties and things that you don't have an influence over. Find purpose in adversity. Reflect on what you can learn from difficult situations. Now, I know this may be hard, but there is always that potential there in that adversity of different perspectives coming to light, different opportunities, different connections. Finding meaning in your struggles can transform life into opportunities for growth and perhaps a new pathway. Seek professional help. Sometimes we need a little extra support. Don't hesitate to reach out for further guidance and tools that can help you thrive. The next important step is to establish routine. Routines provide us with a sense of stability and control, which is especially important when facing continuous challenges. So if you have set out a routine of what you can do and what needs to get done, it enforces that sense of control to enable you to make progress, even the smallest of steps. Which brings us on to celebrating those wins, recognizing and celebrating your achievements, no matter how small they may seem, can really boost your confidence and motivate you to keep going. Remember, it's all about making small, manageable changes and building momentum over time. You don't have to do everything at once. Start with one or two of the strategies that resonate with you and build from there. So, just to recap, building resilience involves understanding its importance, shifting your mindset, developing a support system, and taking actionable steps to strengthen your resilience. It's a journey, and every step you take brings you closer to a more resilient and empowered version of yourself. I encourage you to discover more about how you can build a happier life in my book, Blooming Happier. It's filled with practical advice, inspiring stories, and strategies to help you thrive in the face of adversity. So, thank you for joining me today on the Happya Life Podcast. Don't forget to follow us on social media and use the hashtag Happya Life Podcast to share your thoughts and experiences. Visit our website to learn more about my book, Blooming Happier, and how it can support you on your journey. Until next time, remember, you have the power to build resilience and create a thriving, fulfilling life. Take care and live well. If you've enjoyed this episode, ensure you hit subscribe, head on over to my website, happiercoach.com, sign up for the weekly newsletter, and let me support you in living a happier life. I'm your host, Clare Deacon. Thank you for listening. Have a fabulous day.